video and please subscribe to the Whispers of the Weird channel to see the Thank you for watching this video and please subscribe to the Whispers of the Weird channel to see the latest videos. While Russia received international support and high expectations, Qatar hosting the World Cup sparked much controversy, as it is a small country in the Middle East, with an area of only 11,581 square kilometers, slightly larger than Vietnam's Thanh Hoa province, and a population of about 2,617,000 people presently. Moreover, viewed from above, almost every part of Qatar is barren desert covered with sand. The climate here is harsh, with long, scorching hot summers where temperatures often exceed 40 degrees Celsius, while winters are milder but still range from 32 to 35 degrees Celsius. Additionally, deteriorating stadiums, lack of infrastructure, and limited experience in organizing large-scale international events were reasons for doubts about Qatar's hosting capabilities. However, 12 years later, this country proved to the world that everything can be solved with money. According to the UK's Sunspot, Qatar spent about $200 billion to host the 2020. This figure is nearly 20 times the $11.6 million Russia spent to host the tournament in 2018. While the highest expenditure for hosting a previous World Cup was by host country Brazil in 2014, at only $15 billion. Also for Sunspot, Qatar primarily used this enormous sum to build the world's top-tier infrastructure. With 7 new stadiums, 20,000 new hotel rooms, a subway system, nearly 2,000 kilometers of new roads, and notably an 800-megawatt solar power plant to supply electricity for the tournament, aimed at environmental protection. This represents the pinnacle of a decade of continuous construction and investment by host country Qatar. Thanks to this, the small Gulf nation hosted a World Cup that exceeded expectations. It not only satisfied top world players but also left a deep impression on over 1 million football fans from all continents, along with hundreds of millions watching via screens. People not only keep talking about the historic World Cup final between Argentina and France, but also praise the host country Qatar's team for their generosity and spirit. This small country also made history by bringing the World Cup to the Middle East for the first. So what made Qatar so wealthy? And what other interesting facts lie behind that wealth? Please watch today's entire 5-minute video to find the answers together. The country with flat terrain. Qatar's official name is the State of Qatar, a country located on the Qatar Peninsula in Southwest Asia. This country only shares a land border with Saudi Arabia to the south, and the rest of the nation is surrounded by the Persian Gulf. It is also the second flattest country in the world, only after the Maldives, and almost entirely covered with sand. Inland, in the southern and southwestern regions, there are low hills. Among them, Kharain Abu al-Bal is the highest point in Qatar, at 103 meters above sea level. Due to extremely scarce groundwater, vegetation here can only grow in valleys or seasonal dry riverbeds. Wildlife is also rare, with only gazelles and Arabian oryx able to survive in this harsh environment. Along the southwestern coast are sand dunes, mixed with limestone outcrops weathered over time. Qatar's coastline is wide and gentle, allowing seawater to easily penetrate deep into low-lying. Over time, evaporated salt sediments crystallize on mudflat surfaces, forming salt flats, locally called sabkha. Among them, Khar al-Udaid, also known as the Inland Sea, covering 705 square kilometers, is a large lagoon area in Qatar. This area features diverse landscapes like sand ridges, sabkha salt flats, and many rare marine flora and fauna. In 2007, the Al Udaid Reserve was established, with its clear beaches and cooler winter weather, making it an ideal eco-tourism spot in Qatar. Additionally, the northern coastal area hosts the country's rare mangrove forests, with Al Bakira being the most famous mangrove forest. Amid the scorching desert, this place is covered in lush green, giving a feeling of being lost in a tropical country. Besides the mainland, Qatar has several small islands off the Persian Gulf coast, with Halul Island, 1.5 square kilometers, located about 90 kilometers northeast of Doha, being the most important. It serves as an oil storage area for offshore fields under Qatar's sovereignty. Moreover, due to regional tensions, Hulul is also the base for Qatar's Navy and Coast Guard forces. Nationwide, there are no continuously flowing rivers, and with limited groundwater, Qatar's agriculture is underdeveloped, with only about 2% of land being arable. Food is mainly imported, and freshwater is primarily produced by desalinating seawater. One of the world's wealthiest countries. Until the early 20th century, Qatar's economy focused on fishing and pearl diving. But after cultured pearls from Japan entered the global market in the 1920s and 1930s, Qatar's pearl industry collapsed. By 1940, oil was discovered at the Doha field. But over 30 years later, at independence from the UK in 1971, the country's GDP per capita was only $2,913. Until the 2000s that Qatar rapidly transformed into one of the world. Qatar's citizens are also among the highest average income groups in the world, with a per capita GDP of $83,901. This figure includes foreign workers employed here. Additionally, Qatar's royal family is one of the wealthiest still existing in the world, with an estimated net worth of $335 billion. While people elsewhere struggle with daily subsistence, Qatar's citizens live a luxurious life. Education costs, electricity, fuel, and medical expenses are all provided free of charge. They also don't pay any taxes. All money earned by citizens is theirs and used for luxury needs. Since the country developed, Qataris have never had to worry about earning a living, so they don't necessarily need to work. But if they do work, they only choose leisurely jobs, as most labor-intensive work in Qatar is handled by foreign immigrants. As small size and abundance of wealthy individuals, many don. Qatar is also a nation of supercars and yachts, with Mercedes, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, etc. Cars worth millions of dollars roam the streets, alongside thousands of gleaming yachts lining Doha Bay. The primary reason for this wealth is the country's abundant oil and gas resources. At first glance, Qatar appears to have nothing but sand and desert heat, but beneath that sand lie vast reserves of black gold and gas, envied worldwide in completely transforming this arid land over 95% desert. According to OPEC, Qatar's current oil reserves are 25.44 billion barrels, with production reaching 1.53. Regarding gas, also for OPEC, Qatar has gas reserves of 23.087 trillion cubic meters, ranking third globally after Russia. Currently, Qatar's largest oil field is the Doha field, spanning nearly 80 square kilometers in Doha City. It lies along the western coast with estimated reserves of about 2.2 billion barrels and currently produces 335,000 barrels. Its largest natural gas field, the North Dome, was found in Qatar. It wasn't until the 2000s that the country saw a major breakthrough. The reason is that before 1971, Qatar was a British protectorate, so all profits flowed to this European nation. After independence, at that time, the demand for natural gas was low as it could only be transported via pipelines. Qatar was also far from areas needing natural gas, so it largely forgot. In 1996, when Emir Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani ascended the throne, he immediately began exploiting a large gas field. With foresight, Hamad risked investing in high-tech methods to liquefy natural gas at -161°. This allowed Qatar to easily transport gas to distant countries in need. This approach was unconventional at the time, but Hamad showed the world it was successful. Today, Qatar is one of the world's largest exporters of liquefied natural gas. Simultaneously, it has the world's lowest gas extraction and liquefaction costs, enabling profits even when most of Qatar's natural gas is exported to Asian countries like Japan, South Korea, and China. As leaders understand that having large oil and gas reserves doesn't So they began seeking mineral revenues and investing globally, establishing the Qatar Investment Authority in 2005. By 2041, this fund had an estimated $450 billion in assets, invested worldwide in various assets like real estate, major companies, and among these, the famous French football club Paris Saint-Germain is also a product of the Qatar Investment. Small giant. The super immigrant nation and societal shadows. An interesting fact about Qatar is that its population fluctuates significantly by season due to the majority being immigrant workers. The proportion of native Qataris typically hovers around 12%, about 314,000 people, while foreigners make up 88% of the population. The reason is that native Qataris are so wealthy they avoid manual tasks, hiring help for everything from daily household chores to social work. The massive workload forces the Qatari government to hire an extremely large force. They mainly come from South Asian countries like India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, etc. Additionally, there are workers from Southeast Asia and Africa, such as the Philippines, Kenya, and Egypt. This is also the cause of many societal shadows in Qatar. Many reports indicate the country often disregards immigrants, with master-servant relationships and exploitation forms. Despite running almost year-round in harsh desert heat, immigrant workers are paid only about $9 per day, and a maximum of $236 per month. Some even have wages withheld by employers and fall into debt. Notably, construction workers at Al Bayt Stadium worth about $710 million, with unpaid for 7 months. Their living conditions are extremely poor, crammed into substandard lodges, sometimes without electricity or water. Many, even when ill, are forced to work due to project deadlines and survival needs without medical care. Thus, immigrant worker deaths are common, leaving families without breadwinners and unclear about causes of death. In reality, the Qatari government knows all this and ignores it. According to human rights organizations, the government of this country also attempts to conceal deaths in their. A study by The Guardian revealed that from 2010 to 2020, 6,500 migrant workers from India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka died. If calculated from the day Qatar officially won the bid to host the world's biggest football festival, an average of 12 migrants. However, this figure is still incomplete as it does not include victims from African and Southeast Asian. Additionally, victims from late 2020 onwards have not been fully counted due to disruptions caused by the COVID-19. Therefore, the estimated number could reach up. Most of these deaths were declared by the Qatari government as natural. This shatters the rumors that Qatar is a place where only the wealthy lie. In this country, alongside luxury and glamour, there are still slums and dilapidated, haphazardly built houses in the capital, Doha. A country whose capital is a new wonder of the world. With massive revenue from oil sales, Qatar has built smart cities to improve the lives of its citizens. Among them, Doha is not only the most developed city in the Middle East, but has reached the status of a new world wonder and is home to over 80% of Qatar's population. The city was founded in 1820 and officially became the country's capital in 1971. After Doha became the capital, the grand urban reconstruction began with the demolition of all old neighborhoods. The Doha government invited master architects from around the world to participate in the overall urban design. The common traits of these designers are innovation, creativity, and meeting the strict requirements of the Doha government, aiming to build an unprecedented. Starting from a weak foundation with no mountains, no greenery, no river systems, and no biodiversity, Doha did everything to turn nothing into something. As a result, in just about 30 years, the city has become a global metropolis with many large-scale projects, skyscrapers, and massive multifunctional. With its modern architecture, in May 2015, Doha was officially recognized as one of the 7 new wonders of the world. One of Doha's notable projects is the artificial island, Facade, located off the coast of West Bay Lagoon. It has a total area of approximately 13.9 square kilometers. The Pearl is currently one of the most beautiful artificial islands in the world. The project was first proposed in 2004 but after completion, it is speculated that the project consumed about 15 billion. As its name suggests, the Pearl is a precious gem island of Doha, consisting of 13 islands. The largest island features a series of villas, apartments, five-star hotels, shopping area. The remaining islands will be sold to private owners who can build anything on them. The Pearl was created to serve the super rich of Qatar and the world, including entrepreneurs, superstars and various fields. The country with the most open visa policy in the Middle East. In 2018, Qatar's visa openness rose to 8th place globally, from 177th in 2014, becoming the most open country in the Middle East in terms of visa facilitation. Qatar's changes aim to attract tourists to the country, including launching a series of online platforms for visa processing, providing faster and clearer electronic visa services. To date, Qatar has allowed citizens of about 87 countries worldwide to enter Qatar visa-free, with basic conditions such as having a passport valid for at least 6 months from the date of entry and confirmed flight tickets. Since these changes were implemented, the rate of international tourists visiting Qatar has surged. Tourists from India increased by 18% annually, from Russia by 366%, and from China by 43%. Additionally, Qatar has special provisions for citizens of Gulf Cooperation Council countries, including Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. They enjoy freedom of movement in Qatar without a visa under any circumstances and can use their national ID instead of a passport to enter Qatar.
The country with an interesting car cemetery.
The scrapyard in Wukai town, Qatar, is one of the most interesting car cemeteries in the world. It is only about 20 kilometers from downtown Doha. Leaving behind the dazzling skyline of the capital and heading southwest, you'll encounter a site resembling a scene from the famous movie Mad Max, Fury Road. Here, at any given time, there are over 24,000 abandoned vehicles, including cars, jeeps, trucks, buses, excavators, bulldozers, cement mixers, cranes, and many other construction equipment. But the majority are 4-seater and 7-seater cars. This scrapyard is like a vast maze, with vehicles covered in desert dust lying close together or even stacked on top.
This is where old mechanical vehicles are destroyed, sorted, and recycled. It is divided into 2 areas. One where people can buy usable parts from old cars, and the other where car bodies with no recyclable parts are stored.
However, there are also classic cars here, which usually do not go through the recycling process. That are kept in a separate area and auctioned off once a year. With this intriguing scene, the Wukai scrapyard has become a popular tourist attraction and is dubbed the post-apocalyptic version of Earth.
The safest country in the world.
In 2023, Qatar was once again honored as the safest country in the world. According to the Nubio Crime Index report, this is the largest database on the quality of life in cities and countries globally. Qatar has topped this ranking for the past 5 years, after reclaiming the #1 spot from Japan. Some reasons this country is considered the safest in the world include political stability, as Qatar has very few political crises or serious armed conflicts. It also has a low crime rate due to an efficient and professional security system and a good educational foundation. Additionally, this wealthy country has a reliable healthcare system, with strong investment in public health, modern hospitals, and quality medical staff. However, no country is absolutely safe. Although Qatar is highly ranked in safety, people visiting here should still remain vigilant and follow basic safety rules to protect themselves and their personal property.
Moreover, you should also note some issues when staying in Qatar, as it is an Islamic country with many strict cultural regulations. When going out, women should dress modestly, covering their shoulders and knees, and avoid tight clothing. This is not legally required but shows respect for local culture.
In Qatar, only citizens aged 21 and above are allowed to consume alcoholic beverages. Drinking and public intoxication are illegal. Alcohol is only sold in licensed restaurants.
Intimate public behaviors such as hugging and kissing are prohibited in Qatar. Although the country temporarily allowed the LGBT community to operate during the 2022 World Cup, after the event, all homosexual and LGBT activities are still considered illegal and can even result in imprisonment.
Qatari hotels do not accept unmarried couples. Prostitution and extramarital relations are both illegal. Littering, spitting, or urinating in public can result in fines of up to $2,700.
The country uses robots for camel racing. The tradition of camel racing in Qatar dates back thousands of years, honoring the role of camels in Arab history. These animals helped Arabs explore the Middle Eastern desert, develop ancient trade routes, and establish trade centers in North and Central Arabia.
Camels are also an important source of food and transportation for the people. Today, this tradition is still maintained, and Qatar holds annual camel races in Al Shahania city from October to February of the fall. Previously, they often hired boys around 4 years old from poor families to ride and control the camels. Later, many children were sold into illegal child trafficking networks, leading to international condemnation for human rights. In response to criticism, since 2005, Qatar has banned the use of children in camel racing and replaced them with expensive remote-controlled robots. This is considered one of the favorite pastimes of the wealthy in the country. The initial robot design confused and frightened the camels, so they were improved with more human-like features, including model faces, sunglasses, hats, and even the distinctive body odor of the camel owners.
These are interesting facts about Qatar, the small giant in Asia. Hello and see you in the next videos.